this whole don't say gay bullshit bill. Sorry, I don't want to say that.
Hey,
Go right ahead.
This is an explicit podcast. You can swear away. Party's all around. Party's all around. But a ziggy zig. If you wanna
Okay, we're going throwback episode apparently. Welcome back to Fruity Cereal.
Welcome
Kevin.
back, everybody. Welcome.
Welcome indeed, Kevin. How are you
We
doing?
wanna welcome you.
Answer the question. How are you?
I am just doing splish splashy goodness. I'm swim this way.
You're having a stroke, is what you're doing. Okay. Yeah. Kevin's clearly got one thing on the mind, one thing only, and Kevin, you want to just dive right in?
Watch as I dive in, like Taylor Swift at the concert.
Taylor Swift, ew! She's another hot topic I know nothing about.
Oh yeah, there's some controversy, but we're not going to get into that.
We're not a place for controversy, Kevin. We're a very fun and inviting environment. We're warm. We're fun.
Yes.
Or else.
Good Lord, Connor.
You're going to have a good time and you're going to like it.
We're going to have fun. Abby Lee Miller.
Abby Lee Miller. Is she out of jail yet? Remember when she went to jail for like tax evasion or something?
I think so. Is she still in a wheelchair?
I don't know. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Abby Lee Miller. I'm kidding. Could you imagine? No, we do have somebody with us today, do we not?
We do have a guest. We do have somebody super fun. And it's relating to a story that we shared about last week's episode.
Yeah, let's do a little recap. Here's what you missed on Glee. Last week we talked about a certain story involving a I don't know what the title would be. School teacher sounds so sexist.
How is that sexist?
I don't know why. I just picture like, I don't know, the matron with the high bun, and I really don't know. But
what? She literally is a school teacher.
I know, but I don't know why I have that image in my head. It's just
school teacher is a gender neutral term, Connor.
How about we invite them to introduce themselves and tell us their title? Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Miss Jenna Barbee. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to introduce you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, apparently
I'm so glad you're laughing because it means I'm not in trouble yet.
I'm Jenna Barbee. I am the school teacher. I don't think there's anything wrong with that term. Okay. I mean, nowadays people might be afraid to say that they're a school teacher because who knows who's judging them for that. So,
fair enough.
How dare you?
Do you know what I'm talking about
children?
when I say the term school teacher? I'm picturing like, I don't know, like
from Matilda, like Miss Trunchbull.
Miss Trunchbull was another story entirely. I'm picturing like, have you ever seen Over the Garden Wall?
No.
On Cartoon Network. Okay, have you ever seen what's his name? Pete's Dragon?
Oh my gosh, I need to, right? Because I'm obsessed with dragons, and I almost played it the other day, but I'd have to have a permission slip now, so I'm not allowed to.
Oh, yeah, my goodness.
Let's talk about that.
Let's dive on in because this story is absolutely wild from head to toe. Okay. Could I give a Cliff Notes version and then you'll tell me what I said wrong?
Oh, do it. I want to hear it.
Kevin, you're better at this than I am. You're the news boy.
So Jenna, from what I understand, you teach fifth grade, correct?
Yes.
You teach a fifth grade, and during one of your classes, you had what's known as a brain break for them, right?
Yes, I called it that. That's my term.
That. Yeah. But you were showing them a movie.
Yes.
And the movie in question was Disney's Strange World, an animated movie that premiered last year.
You're already being very uptight. The movie in question was.
No, I love it.
Okay, but yeah, you showed facts. Okay, but yeah, you played Strange World for your class. A PG movie, might I add, a PG Disney movie.
Exactly.
And you show and this was related to like the curriculum, correct? Because it was about ecosystems. Am I right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. But you got in trouble for this because the movie features a character in it who is openly gay, who is a boy who has a crush on another boy.
Yes.
Scandal. Shame, dishonor, disgrace.
To you and your family.
And this resulted in you being investigated for indoctrination.
Yes.
I love that word. It's so buzzworthy, and it's also like that's like an SAT word.
It is.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet like everybody in your class probably knows that word now.
They do.
So, yeah. So, and you are and are you still currently being quote unquote investigated? Because like I don't know what there is to investigate. You showed them a damn Disney movie.
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Where do we? I honestly don't even know where to begin.
Where do we begin?
So let's start with why we picked Strange World, I guess, because Kevin and I had like several conversations about this movie. I think it's a big
say several.
Oh no, but I think it's a big old floporama, and apparently you're in the camp of people that thinks it's award worthy.
I think it's so good.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was a pretty good movie. I wouldn't quite. I definitely don't think it deserved to be like the flop. It was a financial flop, admittedly.
Well, nobody knew the movie existed.
Well, yeah, exactly. That was probably due to Disney's poor marketing. But whatever. We're not here to critique the quality of the film.
Yes, I'd like to. I want to keep it light.
I need that fan, by the way.
I love it too. I'm sweltering.
I will say this. I really liked the one part of the movie that I really liked was the plot twist, like toward the end about like, you know, what the titular Strange World is.
Mm-hmm.
And how it actually is quite related to the subject of ecosystems.
Right. Okay. Well,
it's a perfect topic.
I loved this movie. The first time I did not like it. So,
okay.
So the first time, because I feel like you have to watch it by the third time I watched it.
I feel like I would like it more if I watched it a second time, because then I could pick up on all the clues of the twist to be like, oh, that's why that's that, and that's why that is like that. Okay.
I did tell Kevin I did see the twist coming, so I'm not going to be that person.
Well, didn't I tell you the twist before you saw it?
Nope, I said it's going to be. Yeah.
Well, this is why I like it so much. So I am like I'm obsessed with Mother Nature and the earth. So like I'm like the type that goes and breathes with the trees and like all that kind of stuff. So my students know, like when we go out to recess and stuff, like they're the ones that I'm like, no one's playing on the playground until you get me 5 pieces of trash, 7 pieces of trash, something like that. Because we're going to take care of this earth and all that. So that's just who I am. And I felt like this movie, the powerful aspect of it being alive, our earth is alive, but we're never going to be able to see its heart like that. Well, who knows what they can do, but down the road. But to be able to show my students that, you know, when they're ripping off the bark of these trees and stuff like that, like I was trying to get them to understand that this is a living thing. Just because you can't see it physically move, like because this tree is 30 years old and it took a long time to get here. So that's just a huge point that I tried to get across, and I feel like this movie kind of shows that, which is why I liked it. And it's a newer one, and 5th graders are like, getting them to pay attention to anything is really difficult. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to choose something that they had not seen, because if they had seen it, more likelihood of an increase in talking and less paying attention. So I thought it was really good. And again, the aspects, like I knew that there was a character who was openly gay in the movie. Not that it's even said, it's not about like coming out of the closet or whatever, anything like
there's no coming out scene. This character is just very casually like gay.
Just talks about a crush. Like, yeah, it's like a casual thing, and the parents are just accepting. Oh my gosh, what
That's the biggest scandal, I think. Is like...
Yeah. But anyway, so it's just so crazy to me because like she had this whole issue with the fact that she said that her daughter felt uncomfortable, which is so funny because her daughter was sitting on the floor behind desks playing on a laptop in the back of the classroom. So I know dang well, and her daughter did not hear because the students at the front of the room could barely hear because there were students still talking because again, they're fifth graders and it's the end of the day and they had to be quiet all morning. So I think it was more so about, Mom, we watched a movie in class today. Oh, what movie did you watch, honey? Oh, it's this movie. Oh my gosh, there's a gay character in this movie. And I think it was more so about that kind of thing. But yeah, so she reported me. None of my other parents in my class care, and they're all on my side because it's just not that big of a deal. Mm-hmm. And like, why is it such a, I don't know. I think
you know why. We know why. Yeah. We all know why.
I would say that like the biggest thing, just what I'm hearing, you did not specifically pick this movie because of the gay character. You're here to teach a lesson and do it correctly.
Which you do make a really good point about this movie, like having this lesson about the Earth being alive, about the Earth being, we should treat the planet like it's a living creature.
Yes, and that's like what I was trying to get across, that like we're all connected. It's all connected. And I think it's so interesting though that this movie that I'm getting in so much trouble for is called Strange Worlds because it's created such a strange world for me. And like it's all about that character. He's not the reason, which I love about him, is he's not just the gay character. He's the character who accepts love and wants to give everyone love and everything love, because in that movie, he's the one character when they're all coming together and fighting, they're thinking it's the parasites of this. He's the one that says, no, that's a living creature. I'm not going to hurt it. I feel wrong doing that. Let's be kind to these animals. And then he's the one that figures out, oh, they do need to be kind because it's their plant that's killing these animals. These things are trying to save it. So he's the one that he's spreading the message of kindness and compassion for all living things. So it's just beautiful because he represents love as the form of energy for all, which is why it's beautiful that he's the gay character, because love is love. Doesn't matter if it's for plants or animals, like you're giving out that energy, and like it's so special. So I think it's so interesting that this is the one that, the universe chose that we're gonna cause a problem about.
That's a really good point.
Amazingly worded too, by the way.
It is, yeah.
The one thing I would probably say that I've noticed across all of this, everything that you're doing is for your kids, is for the students, and like you clearly love your students very much. Like, I mean, I wish we had more teachers like you when I went to school. Mostly because none of my teachers wanted to show movies in class, but that's another story.
My teachers did, but when I was in 5th grade, the only 2 movies I remember seeing were Gone with the Wind, which, that movie, I mean, at least should be controversial.
That movie I thought was a little inappropriate for 4th grade.
Yeah, a little bit.
Maybe that's just me. They also made me watch Sleepy Hollow that grade. Like, that was a straight up horror movie.
I think that was 7th grade when I was shown that one. I think it was 7th or 8th grade.
It was,
and we had to get parent permission. We had to get parent permission slips for that one because it is rated R.
Did you have Mr. Sealand? We're not here to talk about that. No, sorry.
But the other movie was Little Mermaid 2, which that I feel is inappropriate to show to kids, because it's bad. Because
it's the same movie as the first one. It's the same movie. Okay. What was the lesson?
Oh, I don't think there was a lesson. I think
it was just a shut up and stay quiet type movie.
I think it was a shut up and stay quiet type movie.
Okay.
Yeah, my 5th grade teacher put on movies all the time. But the reason I put this one on is because my students had standardized testing all morning. Like, the whole morning they had to take their state testing, which is why every 5th grade teacher put on a movie. I just happened to put on the movie that had the character that was going to cause this whole issue. I had no idea any of this was happening. Like this whole don't say gay bullshit bill. Sorry, I don't want to say that.
Go right ahead.
This is an explicit podcast. You can swear away. We do not recommend any of your students listen to this.
I wouldn't. It's okay.
What, like they're gonna listen?
Yeah, I have one student who would, but he's he's my he's my IT guy. This kid has my speech memorized from my school board meeting and told me he's talking at the next school board meeting and has written a speech, but his speech is literally just my speech reiterated from his point of view. So I told
so plagiarism.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, this is literally textbook plagiarism.
I'm not just gonna plagiarize. I'm gonna plagiarize from my teacher. Oh my gosh, that's ballsy.
But so it's just crazy to me because like, can we just? I'm okay. People are like, oh, I'm so sorry this is happening to you, but you know what? Like, I want to change things because now that I see how many people are out there that are so full of hate and so full of fear that there are people who have called me and told me my address from a block number and told me that they're coming to get me. And there's people who told me that they hope I get like the R word and that stuff happens to me. And just email, just nasty. And the way I look at it though, is like, I channel that into writing. Cause I'm like, you know what? You call me and you can't even handle letting me say something before you hang up. You're not really going to come. You are so full of fear from this fire of hate that you feel the need to feed it by going and doing something and saying something to someone you've never met. And that's the problem with this world. So it just is giving this drive to change things. And I just want to know, like, with all this happening, so, you know, this don't say gay bill bullshit thing or whatever it is, like, so you're not allowed to teach it in schools or have any representation. In fact, that school board member went around and went to all the high schools and made them take down any pride flags, anything. In fact, she even walked into a teacher's classroom who had a pride flag hanging for 9 years, didn't say in the middle of class, didn't say a single thing to any teacher, any student, walked in, took a picture of his flag, walked out, and then he got a letter from the school board saying he was under investigation and that he needed to take his flag down.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like, and so I just got caught in her rampage. I didn't know any of this was happening, and it played right into her whole rampage thing and this whole super right wing, like, extremist nastiness. And like, this is the crazy thing about it. Okay, so I don't know if you guys ever did this, but like, when you're younger and in elementary school, you have like this all about me day, or like the beginning of the year where you come with a poster board of your family and you talk about your family and your life. So what about all those kids who have 2 moms or 2 dads? Are they not allowed to present their family? Because that would be against the law, according to the state of Florida now. So you're not going to let any of those students, you're going to tell them that their parents are wrong for being parents. When I have students in my class who would be lucky if they had 2 dads or 2 moms, because some of them don't have either.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like insane. Like, they don't even take into consideration that, like, that queer people have families, that queer people have kids. It's like, well, we're going to talk about this later on, but like, you know, with the Target controversy, there's, you know, people being like, oh, why are they selling children's swimsuits? It's like, I don't know, maybe because they're for kids who have queer parents, who have either 2 moms or 2 dads.
How did we get here?
Oh, I didn't, again, this right before this Target scandal came out, I had walked into Target and I saw that was like the new section. So I got like the rainbow mat for the front of my door and like a shirt and like another shirt that says like your voice. Like, it's like the black and white shirt that says like your story matters and stuff like that. I'm obsessed.
I like those. I want the green jumpsuit. I know I'm not going to look good in it, but I want it.
I know I'm not, my body will not look good in it either, but I do want it.
Well,
oh my gosh.
I mean, according to Target, your stories don't matter as much as our profits.
Well,
but I digress.
I mean, that's rainbow capitalism at its finest. We knew this already, but
I digress.
We're here to have fun. I suppose the one question that I want to ask you, like, point blank, would you do this again?
Hell yeah. Are you kidding me?
I love it.
Fight for what is right? Like, absolutely. 10 out of 10. Would not change a single thing.
We love to hear that.
Okay, and you know, I just want to bring up, you know, so I believe that the whole reason behind all this is because I think that Republicans have, you know, they're using, now this is a point that I brought up last week, and this is actually something that Zoe Zephyr said. You know, Zoe Zephyr, she is the
sorry, there was a spider.
She's the trans lawmaker from Montana who got I believe she got banned from like the Senate floor or something.
Oh yeah, and she had to sit on a bench outside.
Right, she got censored for trying to like advocate against, you know, what's going on right now against the LGBTQ community. She was banned by Republicans from the Senate floor. Thank you, Nick. So, yeah, and she made a statement that, like, you know, this whole thing, like, Republicans are just making, like, queer people into a boogeyman because they have no actual solutions for any actual problems that are plaguing our country, that are actual. So they're making up problems and saying, you should focus on this. And they're preying on people who are, you know, small-minded and ignorant, who probably have never seen a queer person, who don't know anything about queerness, but
Can't
they
spell
see
the
it.
word indoctrination.
They can't even spell the word indoctrination, but they see a queer person, they see queerness, and they're weirded out by it because it's unfamiliar to them. It's strange. It's like it's something that they don't understand, which, you know, actually even, which going back is relevant to the movie that you were bringing up, because like everybody hated like the weird cell things, but like it turns out they were actually the good guys all along. But anyway, but they, you know, they fear what they don't understand. And then someone like Ron DeSantis comes along and he's like, yeah, here's a reason why you should hate this group of people that you're weirded out by, because they're preying on your children. That's what's happening.
It's turning the students gay. Yes, that's what's happening.
Like, they're indoctrinating them. When
get my witch hat, like,
oh, I love those.
Like that's what they're doing. And
bring
you know,
me the children, I shall turn them into transgenders.
And these ignorant people, they, you know, they just take that at face value. They don't need any evidence of it because it backs up, you know, a feeling that they already had. It justifies this kind of this bigotry that they've already had. This uncomfortableness that they already have with this thing that they don't understand. So now they're justified at that uncomfortableness, and they're like, oh, okay, so now I have a good reason to hate this group of people. I have a good reason now. But even though it's not a good reason because it's not true, but they don't need any evidence for it because they already believe it. It justifies what they already believe.
And so you want to know the reason why this works so well is because, so let's break down, even just take away the queer factor, anything that has to do with diversity, right? So let's just break everything down to energy real quick. Everything in this world is energy vibrating a certain rate. Okay, cool. So you have this hate, fear, negative energy. It is so easy to feed because you don't have to work on yourself. All you got to do to feed this one is prey on other people, think that you're only right, and start talking mad shit about everybody else who's not in your realm of comfortability. So easy to feed but the issue is that type of energy, it goes like, it's like putting brush into this fire. Okay. So it's like using pine cones and pine needles and brush. And that's what's feeding this. It's going to burn really hot and really fast. All of a sudden it's going to catch and you're just like, yes, give me more of that. And so you just want to feed it. Or there's this other kind of energy. It's called love. It's the most pure form of positive energy in the entire world. It's a state of being. It is what represents just pure positive energy. It's what represents Jesus, but the Christians don't want to hear that anyway. So you can feed this one, but you have to like work on yourself and your traumas and your issues, and you have to like open your heart and be accepting that, oh, this person actually is really nice. Let me, instead of saying these bad things about these people, let me invite them for coffee. Let me go sit and have oh, wow, they're actually really oh, wow, this doesn't define who they are. Oh, wow, their mistakes don't either. Oh, wow, and once you start feeding that positive energy and you start accepting people, then all of a sudden the roots start to grow. You don't see this fire at first because it takes longer to build. It's like the roots of a tree, and it starts to build, but it builds deep. And once you can build this fire, it is sustainable and unstoppable, and it's pure and it's positive, and you don't have to hate on anybody else to feed this fire. You're okay with just being you and accepting you, and it's powerful. And I have this little theory because I believe everything happens for a reason. So I believe why the LGBTQ plus flag is rainbow is because if you look in spirituality, like your chakras are rainbow, and being able to have your chakras completely cleared and aligned is an aligned rainbow. So maybe accepting everyone for who they are and accepting love in its purest form is represented by a rainbow, because you have to accept yourself first.
I like that.
That was beautiful.
Absolutely. My goodness.
Woo,
has your public speaking gotten better since this all started? Or were you always like this?
Well, okay, so Can I just say that I've been breaking rules by accident like my whole life, sometimes on purpose, but sometimes by accident, because I was in a public speaking class one time for college and it was a video class. So like for that, you have to like go live and your class is watching and you tell, well, it was before I went into the military and it was before I was only 18. So I had a beer and a gun on camera and I had props to explain my reasoning as to why can't I drink this, but I can legally go like get shot and have this.
Wow.
So
That's a good point.
A whole new rule got put out by the college that even on film, you're not allowed to have alcohol or weapons.
Okay. Wow.
But you made a good point though. You
Right,
made a good point. Like why should I be allowed? Why should, as an 18-year-old, I be allowed to, you know, buy a gun but not a can of beer?
Well, okay, so can we touch on the gun thing real fast, just real quick, because it plays into this school board member, because she went on video with that senator who sent out that blast, and I'm just glad that they did this because they sound ignorant for anybody with a brain. But they went on video and was, first of all, she blamed me, saying she had to pull her 5th grader out of school because she was getting bullied and now she's getting death threats because of my actions. And I'm like, I played a movie. You're the one who made this a big deal, first of all. Second of all, she was like, and now the school board won't pay for a cop to be outside my house and they won't let me bring a gun on campus.
What?
She said that on video, and the senator was like, yeah, they won't let her protect herself. I'm like, you're not allowed to have guns in school?
I can't. Oh, my God. The more I hear about the state of Florida, the more it sounds like an Alice in Wonderland sketch on SNL. I swear to God.
They should do that. That would actually be really good.
And it's just nothing. It's like reality stranger than fiction at this point. Oh, my goodness.
Truly.
I can't bring a gun on campus.
It's like the Upside Down from Stranger Things.
Well,
that one seems a bit more positive.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing, so this is my issue with this whole situation, is she's like, in her thing, we're protecting the children. It's for the safety of the children. And that's why we have to have these rules, But meanwhile, like, we're allowed to have a gun in Florida without a permit now. Like, you can conceal carry without a permit. And anyway, so
it's like you're worried about your kids growing up to be gay. Worry about your kids growing up, period.
End of sentence.
You know, there are so many studies out there, because back in the day, and I'm sure in really bad places today, they still have, like, they used to send their kids to be tortured to beat the gay out of them. Like, that was a thing. And it showed,
New York.
It literally showed it's literally not possible, because that's not how it works, people. So a movie is not going to turn and I shared something on Facebook yesterday that was like, these guns don't kill people really seem to think that a book is going to turn their child gay.
I always love the argument that, like, oh, if gay kids or if gay people adopt, if gay people just exist, they're going to turn the kids gay. Every single gay person had 2 straight parents.
Not every single one, but most of them did.
Oh no, but like they are the product of, unless they are a test tube baby. I gotta be blunt about that. But it's like, come on, like, I'm not. God. And I think the big factor is, like, we don't want to indoctrinate kids. Like, we just want them to survive.
No, that's their thing. They want to indoctrinate them.
Well, and exactly. So that's what I think is so interesting. So you're saying that I'm indoctrinating by representing students who are already in my class, because I have students who are part of this community who have told me that at the beginning of the year. And what did I say? I'm like, oh, when I've had one student tell me, I don't want to come out to my parents yet. I'm like, you don't need to. You're 10 and 11. Like, take time, figure yourself out. Like, be yourself. Absolutely be yourself. And when you're ready, you'll be ready. You don't have to rush that right now. But that's that same student who is the smartest student in my class. And that is that same student who is now depressed and has come to me in this last week and told me that she does not like herself. Because what does she see? Her favorite teacher is getting in so much trouble and under the possibility of losing her license because she represented a character in a movie which she, like, relates to. And so now she's like, I don't want to relate to that. If that is, it's literally just representation. That's not indoctrination. Indoctrination is pushing beliefs. So taking all these things away and saying these are not allowed and this is not okay, that is indoctrination.
Exactly.
And that's the issue with the safety thing. So we have to do drills like almost every single month we have to do shooting drills. We have to do trainings on what happens if a shooter comes to school. By the way, one of those trainings, it was a video representation of a group of teachers, and they threw tennis balls at the shooter. And I just thought that was the most comical thing in the entire.
Are you serious? Tennis balls?
What?
Tennis balls?
Tennis balls, because we have those hanging out in our classroom all the time. And like, yeah, never bring a knife to a gunfight, but you can bring tennis balls. Those will sure win. So, my thing is,
Okay.
we're looking at this like all wrong. We're like, okay, what are we going to do when this shooter comes? Everyone needs to be ready. Instead of asking, wait, why? Why is the shooter? What is the increase in shooting for? What is happening? Why is this happening? We're not looking at that. And that is because a lack of representation, a lack of mental health, a lack of emotional intelligence, a lack of social emotional studies. Like, students don't understand themselves, and they don't feel heard, and they don't feel seen. And their parents some of them are in jail, or they're just so broken, and bullying is so bad. But then you care so much about practicing what happens if a shooter comes on campus. It shouldn't happen in the first place. And that's what we need to figure out how to stop.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, like, if you had one thing to say, the whole world is listening right now. What's the one thing that you want to say that you feel does not get heard?
Well, I have a saying that I tell the kids I babysit, and I tell all my students that I sign on everything. It's actually my email signature. It's give a compliment, get a smile, because compliments are free, and you have no idea what that compliment can mean. Yes, to one person, they might blow you off, and most of the time they don't hear me. But that's okay, because that one person that did hear me, if I compliment their ring or their shirt or their shoes, there's always something you can compliment on someone, and you can change the dynamic of that person's entire year just by one compliment, because you don't know. That ring could have been their grandma's that just passed away. That shirt could have been given to them by a new boyfriend that they're into, and they're finally feeling loved again. That, like, you have no idea what anyone else in this world is going through, even if you go through the exact same situation as them. The way the human brain processes things based on who you are is different. So you have no idea. So give a compliment, get a smile, because just if you spread that one little bit of kindness, then maybe that person will too. And that's the key to changing this world, is kindness and acceptance. We need to come together, or we're going to lose everything.
I do love that. That was
Wow,
beautifully worded.
Amazing. So what's next for you? What's next for you, Jenna?
So, well, I just applied for an LLC to have my own book publishing company. I've written 3 children's books that I've kind of worked on through this situation. I've taken some of the anger and written kind of about these positive messages in like a rhyming type of way. And I'm working on my own illustrations. So I'm going to submit it. I want to do like an all eco-friendly printing company. So I've been looking for one of those, like somebody who prints with like only recycled papers, because the thing has like the word, it's Gaia, which is Mother Earth. So that'll be coming out soon. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, so hopefully that will get some messages out, and I want to keep fighting the good fight, spreading the message of kindness and acceptance. And I am working with people I want to work with people. I actually have a meeting Monday to work with people who know more about energy and stuff like that, who work with shamans from like Machu Picchu, because I want to write a curriculum reincorporating nature and stuff like that back into our education.
I love that. Okay.
That is really cool.
Thank you.
That's really cool.
Nice.
I've actually also been working on a children's book myself.
Really?
Yeah.
He just finished Run, Jane, Run. Sorry.
Connor, what did Jenna just say about being kind and nice and compliments?
Oh gosh, I do. It comes from love. He knows this.
Yeah.
What's it about?
Okay, so it's about a little dinosaur named Archie, and he lives in a world where dinosaurs with feathers are treated differently than dinosaurs who do not have feathers. Dinosaurs with scales. And one day he discovers that he has feathers, and his family like tells him, "Hey, that's not okay. You gotta pluck those feathers out. You gotta make sure that you don't grow any more of them." But but of course, one day, it's like he can't control it. He keeps on growing these feathers, but eventually he discovers a community of dinosaurs who are all feathered and they all love themselves. And they all are accepting themselves. And eventually his family realizes, though, that they think that they were protecting him, but in actuality, they were the ones that were hurting him.
Oh my gosh, I love this story.
I was very into it when he told me initially. I didn't tell him, of course.
Okay, sure you didn't, Connor.
I didn't know. I don't want you to get a swollen head.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, the dinosaur, his name is Archie.
I love
Where did Archie come from?
Archie is named after Archaeopteryx, which a lot of people think is like the first feathered dinosaur, but like there's some debate about that. I don't really know exactly, but it's one of the earliest known feathered dinosaurs.
That's so cool. So you're
There's
really
actual science in it. I love it.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's so cool. What I want to publish your book. Let me.
You can, yeah. That would be awesome, actually.
Yeah, let me get mine up and running, and then we're gonna publish yours. And it's just I have one other teacher who told me so. Again, I don't believe in coincidence, so we're just gonna have to get there too.
All right. Yeah,
I suppose before we send you on your way, because I know you've got a lot of things to do. I know you're a mom, so you probably got stuff to get done. His
dad's home, so we're good.
Oh, okay. So we'll keep you for a few more hours. The first question I have for you is there a place that you would like people to follow you on social media, or would you like to just be like left alone for a little bit?
I don't really I just have that TikTok. I don't really I didn't really use social media until this. I literally just use Facebook to keep in contact with my Marine Corps friends. So
makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But if you follow my TikTok, I don't even know the name of it. I think it's becoming a better Barbie or something like that.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Because that's where I'm probably going to be putting out information for the books and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess just the TikTok.
Sounds good.
My
second question is, what's your opinion on scary movies? Because I'd love for you to come with us to Halloween Horror Nights in October.
Oh my gosh, I would love to.
Let's make it happen. We're
going to the Lady Gaga house.
We're gonna get a whole Wizard of Oz crew of people we've met on the podcast coming with us.
Amazing. I would absolutely love that.
Who else did we recruit for this?
We have Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn cosplay. She's coming with us. We've got a whole bunch of other people. Obviously, you and I. Literally, just everybody come. Everybody show up.
So I was not that good at horror houses until this past one I went to. And then I thought of that episode of SpongeBob where I think it was Patrick told SpongeBob, scary is funny. And then when I did that, I was telling myself that, and I was trying to, it was just the whole thing.
Oh, I love that though. I only just recently got into horror movies, so I was like a big old baby the first year I did it. Last year was the first year I did a house without closing my eyes.
Yeah, maybe this year I'll be able to do it without screaming the whole time.
No, not me. Yeah, you got this.
The purpose is to be scared, but Kevin's a nuisance.
I know. I was screaming just so that they wouldn't they wouldn't jump scare me. They wouldn't catch me off guard.
That makes them jump scare you more, Kevin.
But it's you can't jump scare me if I'm already scared. You can't if I'm already screaming, then you can't surprise me.
Okay, sure. I guess that makes sense in some circles.
I don't know. That was my logic.
Oh my goodness. But that being said, Jenna, thank you so much for joining us. This was an absolute delight.
Thank you so much.
And we'll send you the details about when we're going in October, and we will hopefully get to see
you have to talk to me about your book more once I get this.
Yes.
I find out this week if I was approved for the LLC and everything like that. So I'm hoping.
Best of luck.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We'll
talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for being here.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
That was amazing.
That was so cool.
Much.
That was so cool.
I am sweating to death, Kevin.
I noticed.
Oh my God. This is
I noticed.
It's painful being a dense boy out here.
Is your AC up? Is your AC broken or something?
No, my father refuses to turn the AC on until it is 80 degrees outside.
Until it's 80?
80 Fahrenheit. Yes.
80?
Yeah.
Girl.
Trust me, I'm just over here in my own little puddle.
bitches in the dungeon dying of hunger, like what Nicki Minaj says, or whatever. I don't know what the lyrics are. I don't know. I'm not a barb, guys. Don't come for me.
Fantastic. So anyway, did we have something else we wanted to move on to, or should we just jump right into what I inevitably want to talk about?
Well, I have some stories for Sounds Gay. I'm
stories.
in.
Okay,
not as many as I did for the past few weeks, because I know we had a guest. So let's get into it. All right. First story is LA Dodgers apologize and reinvite drag act to Pride event after backlash.
Was this the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence?
Yes.
Yes. I love this story.
Okay.
You continue.
Yes. After disinviting a nonprofit drag group to its upcoming Pride Night celebrations, the LA Dodgers has backtracked with a public apology. The Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, a well-known order of queer and trans nuns who do charitable and protest work, as well as drag performances, were told they could no longer attend the event due to the backlash from conservative Catholics. The decision was met with a widespread outrage from the LGBTQ community, many of which slammed the team for caving into such opposition at a time when anti-LGBTQ legislation and rhetoric is rife in the US and beyond. Now, an apology has been issued to both the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence and the wider LGBTQ community by the baseball team. We have asked the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence to take their place on the field at our 10th annual LGBTQ Pride Night on June 16th. A statement issued on May 23rd said. In a statement posted to their own social channels, the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence said they are proud to accept the Community Hero Award from the Los Angeles Dodgers for our 27 years of service to the LGBTQIA2S community.
Is that the full acronym?
I don't know. I've never heard it with an S before.
I never heard it too. When did we get a sequel?
I don't know. I don't know what the S stands for, to be honest.
Sexy?
The sexies?
The sexy, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I identify as sexy.
I identify as sexy.
I don't know. You know what? I have to do my due diligence and look into it, and I will do so before the beginning of next week.
Okay, anyway, next story. Diversity enriches and flourishes. Mexico has issued its first non-binary passport.
Oh, very cool.
Yes. We love this, Mexico. The country has issued its first non-binary passport to the Jesus Ociel Baena, a magistrate and activist. Unveiled at an event hosted by Foreign Minister Marcelo Ebrard, the ceremony held on May 17th, International Day Against Homophobia, Biphobia, and Transphobia, was attended by a number of representatives, including Salma Luviano Luna, one of Mexico's first trans federal legislators. In a statement, Ebrard said, "All rights must be guaranteed for all identities," describing the event as a great leap for the freedom and dignity of people. Mexico now joins 15 other countries that include non-binary identities on documents at a national level, having previously handed out its first birth certificate with a non-binary gender marker back in February 2022. The change now means an X appears under a person's gender marker on passports and other official documentation, including driving licenses.
That's incredible. I love that. All right. Speaking as a non-binary person, I would love the opportunity to have that, but I'm of the mindset, as long as I live in the United States, as far as the government is concerned, I am a man and I am a boy. I am male. I don't want the government.
What if there's another draft, Connor? Oh, never mind. You're too old.
I'm way too old. Are you kidding me? And my eyesight? Fuck no. Yeah, let's put me on the front lines. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Let's move on. Sarah Paulson buys out cinema screening of trans film Monica in epic gesture of allyship.
Love that. Okay.
Yes, she bought tickets so that people could watch and support the film for free of charge. That's how to be a good ally. As well as being one of our generation's most best-loved scream queens, Sarah Paulson is also an unflinching trans ally. Monica features Trace Lissette in the titular role as a transgender woman living in the American Midwest who returns to her childhood home to care for her dying mother, the woman who kicked her out when she came out as trans. According to the film's co-writer and director, Andrea Pallararo, it's based on a true story and hopes to explore the complexities of abandonment and trauma within the LGBTQ community.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say you mispronounced that name, but we're going to gloss over that.
I probably did. Palaro?
It sounded like you were gargling.
It did a little bit. I was like, oh shit, wait.
Anyway, we will... I remember seeing something about this movie coming out, but I didn't think it was going to get like that wide of a release.
It has a very limited theatrical release. It's not playing anywhere near me.
Oh, okay.
You know, North Carolina. What can you do?
Yeah, of course. The entire state.
Yeah, you would have thought Asheville would be the exception, but nope.
Nope.
All right, so here's the next story. Hundreds of trans youths have celebrated the first ever U.S. Trans Prom.
Aw, what's that?
The event was hastily scheduled in association with the American Civil Liberties Association, or ACLU, after a Mississippi transgender student was forced to miss her graduation after being told to dress like a boy.
Ew.
Yeah. But yeah, the ACLU, they threw a trans prom.
That's so sweet. I love that.
Yeah, that is awesome. Snap snaps. Or I don't know. Are we snapping too much? Are we?
Snaps are eternal, Kevin. Elle Woods would approve.
Okay. All right. Now, this is a subject that everyone is talking about, so I feel like I had to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
Target removed some Pride merchandise after a conservative outrage. And we already did briefly talk about this. Target is boldly responding to threats of violence against its workers from far-right extremists by caving to their demands and pulling merchandise from the shelves. In a public statement dated May 24th, the chain announced that in response to threats of impacting our team members' sense of safety and well-being while at work, the company will be making adjustments to the availability Pride-themed items like binders, shirts, and various accessories that have been on sale since early May. Some merchandise is being removed from stores altogether, though the statement did not specify which items would be removed. Some customers have confronted Target workers, knocked over Pride displays, and posted threatening social media videos inside Target stores. These provocations arose after right-wing pundits like the Daily Wire's Matt Walsh and Gays Against Groomers spread vitriol and disinformation about the LGBTQ community.
Disgusting.
And yes, these are the same people who got mad about Target being vandalized in 2020 are now vandalizing or threatening to vandalize Target. I thought they wanted to protect property.
Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah, remember that? I thought you guys were all about protecting property, but now you're vandalizing Target? What's up with that?
Yeah, no, it only fits the narrative that they're trying to make.
Yeah, and it's like,
ugh.
I don't know, can't you kick these people out, man? Like,
it's while they can, these people are unpredictable. So they're like, I'm not going to risk my employees' health and safety just to get one, dangerous lunatic out of the store.
Yeah, but you're not going to win by caving into them.
Yeah, definitely not. But again, it's the rainbow capitalism of it all. It's like I don't really know what side I want to be on.
It's truly showing why rainbow capitalism is wrong because, once the tough gets going, they don't get tough.
Have we ever talked about exactly what rainbow capitalism is? Because I think that's a very important thing to know.
I mean, I feel like we kind of already have implied what it is by just talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the practice of just slapping rainbows on everything and being like, we find pride in the LGBT. And then for the other 11 months of the year, they're just like, what? Who?
It's like as soon as July 1st hits around, they're like, bye-bye, disgusting gays.
Bye,
go back into the closet now.
Jesus. But no, that's why it does not work for multiple reasons, but that's like the primary one is because they're not really taking steps to represent and care for the LGBT community. They just want the profits.
Exactly.
But I just want to bring up one thing because it is relevant. There was a video of a man destroying a Target Pride section. Like he took like the banner off, threw it in the ground. He's wearing a MAGA hat. He's stomping on the thing. Somebody found him on Grindr.
Oh, really?
Yeah, somebody was like, I think I saw your face before. Oh, yeah, you were the guy destroying the Pride thing. And then they outed him, which I'm not a big fan of outing people, like just as a rule. But I was like, this seems kind of appropriate.
It's like if you're a hypocrite, it's like
it's like
it's like it's wrong to out people, but it is right to point out hypocrisy.
Yes, there we go. That's perfectly concise.
Yes. Also, you remember that lady who was in that one video where some guy confronted her and was like, "Hey, do you support the satanic pride?" And she was like, "Yep, I support Satan and pride."
I don't remember that, but I love her already.
Yeah, it's that video is spreading all around Twitter, and people are like, "We need her back. We need her more than ever."
Oh,
like this woman's just like, "Yep, support Satan, support pride. Yep, I support all of it." Woo. What are you gonna do? But it's like, well, so what's God gonna think? I don't believe in God.
Oh well.
Anyway, so last story. Oh, this is the one that I was excited to talk about. The FDA would like people to please stop drinking poppers instead of energy shots.
What?
Yes, the Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, would like to remind everybody that poppers, much like Tide Pods, are not the forbidden shot, so please don't drink them. In a post on Instagram on Wednesday, the FDA said the agency officials continue to receive reports of people dying or being severely injured after consuming poppers that resemble and often mistaken for popular energy shots.
No! Oh no! People, Kevin, are dying. People, Kevin, are dying. Is what I just said.
But like they're drinking poppers, and the FDA has to tell people to stop drinking poppers.
For fuck's sake!
Where are these people buying these poppers? Mistaking them for energy shots.
Well, the smoke shop near my house sells them as industrial nail polish removers.
Oh, well, you live in New York, Connor. God damn it.
Yeah, I know, but it's a smoke shop. It's the place where you go to inhale stuff, but that's not what you're supposed to do with this stuff. But
yeah, you don't do that.
Yeah, no, that's a big no-no. Kevin, I was just about to do something really controversial, but
were you about to whiff a popper right here on camera?
No, I was going to read the ingredients on a bottle and be like, "This is why you shouldn't drink it." And I was like, maybe not put that on camera. Like, it's a bottle. It's a bottle of nail polish remover. It says so on the label.
Yes, it's used to remove nail polish and nothing else. Nothing else.
You're not still holding on to that nail polish remover I gave you in October, right? It's dead now.
I don't know. It's probably somewhere in my room. I don't know. Maybe I don't remember throwing it out. Maybe why?
It's dead now. So like,
what do you mean it's dead?
It dies after time. You've got maybe a month out of a large bottle, like, or maybe 2 months out of a large bottle.
Poppers expire?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
I didn't know the poppers
nail polish remover expires, Kevin. God.
Oh yeah, nail polish remover expires. Yes, of course.
But that's another story. Yeah, don't drink it.
Yes, don't drink nail polish remover.
I can't believe this is the FDA had to get involved. Oh my God.
It's like, unlike the Tide Pod things, this is something that people are actually doing.
No, people were not eating the Tide Pods. They were just biting into them. Nobody was like downing them.
I think there were like a few teenagers who were actually eating them, and died because
it will kill you.
But it was mostly just people joking about eating Tide Pods because it's like they know that you're not supposed to eat them, but like they look like candy, and they're like, haha, teehee, I'm eating the forbidden fruit.
Yeah. I will. You know what? I won't fuck with Tide Pods, but you remember those like bath bead oil things? They look like sea creatures, like dolphins, starfish, and stuff.
Sort of.
They were like very popular in the 90s. You dropped them into the bathtub, they burst open and like put like oil throughout the bath so you'd have like super smooth skin. I wanted to jam 5 of those in my mouth and just bite down. It looked so tempting. It was up there with like Polly Pocket clothing, Kevin. If you weren't there, you don't get it.
Whoa, you wanted to eat Polly Pocket clothing?
No, I wanted to chew on Polly Pocket clothing. Okay, the ones who are hearing me right now that get it, they're the real ones. Okay.
I mean, yeah, I guess when I was a little kid, I chewed on my toys, I guess.
Oh, no. I would do this today. Get me a pink Polly Pocket jacket and I will chew on it. And it will last longer than any piece of gum you could give me.
What the Okay, you know what? Let's move on. This was going to conclude my segment, Sounds Gay, I'm In. And Connor, I would like to use the remaining time that we have, which you said that it is okay for us to go a little over this episode.
I would think it's appropriate given the special guest that we have.
I would like for us to follow up on a promise that we made last week's episode and talk about the 2023 live-action remake of Walt Disney's The Little Mermaid.
Why do you have to introduce it like it's nominated for an Oscar?
Like it's
the
not
story
going
of
to
a young
be,
girl destined to leave her home amidst the controversy and turmoil presented by her own family is presented with a choice to live on land and find true love. This is Walt Disney's 2023 The Little Mermaid. Anyway, when I say I just saw the movie, I left the theater, got in my car, came to my house, and came to the basement to start recording. Like, that's how little time I had between the movie and now.
So that's why you're wearing this little shirt with all the sea creatures under.
Yes, it's Little Mermaids, and there's also boys kissing on it. Do you see that?
Oh, and they're both boys.
And they're both boys. I love this shirt.
Oh, Connor, careful! You're not indoctrinating anyone.
Woo! Yeah, so let's talk about this movie because it's been a buzz topic for us for so long.
You know what? Hold on. I just want to, I need to share this story really briefly. It is related to The Little Mermaid and indoctrination.
Okay.
So you know how we basically said that The Little Mermaid turns us gay? Okay. Turned us gay.
I know how to turn you gay.
Well, let me share this story with you. Connor, are you familiar with the attraction at Walt Disney World, Ariel's Grotto?
Yeah, of course.
The Ariel's Grotto attraction at Walt Disney World. In case you don't know, it's just basically a meet and greet area to meet Ariel in her mermaid form.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of the time you can only meet her when she's in her human form because, humans have legs and can walk. But there used to be a different version of this attraction many years ago. And this was like around in the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm not exactly sure what time period it was. But I went to this attraction when I was about 5, 6, or 7. I'm not exactly sure how old. I think I was 6.
Okay.
So I got to meet Ariel when I was 6 years old. And I remember she planted a huge kiss on my cheek and it left red lipstick on.
Oh, the princesses love to do that.
Okay, but let me tell you this, conservatives. How come I, at 6 years old, got kissed by a beautiful woman dressed as a mermaid, and yet I still ended up gay?
Your willpower is very strong, Kevin. I feel like you're just I don't know.
Because I do remember she was very pretty. She was a very pretty woman.
Could you imagine if they hired a homely mermaid?
I mean, obviously they did. It's Disney. They're not gonna. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which, are they still allowed to do that? Which it's kind of wild that she was allowed to do that in the first place.
It does happen. When I was down there, I would see Snow White leaving kisses on people's. A lot of the princesses, like Snow White, Ariel, the ones who have red lips. They sometimes overdraw them so they can leave kiss marks on multiple guests throughout the day.
Okay, I feel like that's not okay. I feel like they shouldn't do that.
It's really no. Here's the thing: they ask you before, can I give you a kiss? They're
I don't remember if she asked. She might have. I don't remember.
Maybe, but no, they will get consent before they plant one on you.
But I just wanted to share that story and
indoctrinated by a mermaid.
Yeah, but it was reverse indoctrination. I don't know what you want to say. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's talk about the movie, Kevin.
Okay, yeah, now let's talk about the new movie. Now that we
okay. Where to begin? Let's start with the fact that this movie's good. This movie's actually very good. I enjoyed it. I had a great time.
Thought it was one of the better of the live action remakes. I don't know if you guys have seen my TikTok review of it, because I did do a brief review. I thought it was one of the better ones, but I still think it had a lot of the same problems that a lot of these live action remakes have.
They're trying to fix problems that don't exist.
They're trying to fix problems that don't exist. They're trying to fix little nitpicks, like little cinema sins criticisms, like definitely. From the original movie. It's just like, those things do not need to be fixed. Like, let's start from the beginning of the movie. So the movie starts off with a quote from Hans Christian Andersen saying that a mermaid has no tears, therefore she suffers so much more.
I thought that was something along those lines. To start with that.
What?
I thought that was a great quote to start.
It was a good quote. I did like that. But then it cuts to, like, you know, it's like in the original movie, it shows us a ship full of sailors, but these sailors are actively trying to hunt mermaids.
Yeah,
it turns out but Eric is there to save the day and be like, hey, don't do that. Just don't.
We're only here to get dolphin safe tuna.
Yeah, because it turns out the mermaid they were hunting was actually a dolphin.
Oh, sorry. I have a lot of thoughts. Sorry. You continue.
No, go ahead with your thoughts.
They kind of got rid of the whole plot point of King Triton being untrusting because humans eat fish. Like, he doesn't trust them because they're more or less responsible for the death of his wife.
Yes, which I saw that coming. I knew they were gonna do something with that. I'm actually surprised it was not talked about more. I'm surprised we didn't actually see a whole ass flashback.
Yeah, definitely. But they bring it up multiple times. Like, I think
only twice. Really,
one of Ariel's sisters brings it up. Ariel kind of hinted at Ursula maybe having something to do with her mother.
She said something about, like, Ursula.
You like to cause trouble
between humans and mermaids. It's like what do you mean by that? Like, they never elaborated on that.
Yeah, and I was like, I would love to hear more about it, but that's another story.
And you think that they would have, considering that this movie adds 35 minutes on top of the original movie.
Yeah.
Sorry, 45 minutes. I meant 45 minutes on top of the original movie.
Yeah, this was a very long one.
It was long.
I was glad to sit through it. It was very fun.
It was fun.
But
I had a lot of okay, I mean, I don't know. Should we go through every little thing in the movie? Because, like,
definitely not, because I want to go to bed.
Okay, but, like, I also I just want to talk about how, like, this movie kind of made the mer people more, I don't know, I guess archaic than they were in the original movie. I mean, look at, like, Triton's Palace. Like, in the original movie, it's this beautiful, gorgeous, golden palace full of spires, one of which may or may not be shaped like a penis.
Yes.
But it's this gorgeous, like, castle that looks like it could only work underwater. And in this movie, it's just a bunch of rocks.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I just remembered something that I thought. During the Part of Your World segment, that's like a very magical moment from the original movie. You see Ariel's collection. She's surrounded by all these human treasures. And something about watching this movie in live action, I was just like, the wonder is not gone, but I'm just watching a woman sing surrounded by garbage. I was just like, something about, she's just like, there's garbage everywhere and she's singing about how great it is. And I'm like, why does this not hold the same water as the original did?
I thought that the Part of Your World sequence was fine, but what I didn't think was fine was how they replaced the concert with just a meeting.
Yeah, to discuss what?
I guess how things are doing in the other seas, I guess.
Yeah, because they made this plot point that all of Triton's daughters rule a separate ocean.
Which, like,
meaning that Ariel is technically the ruler of one of those oceans, and she's like, what, 16?
Yeah, that is kind of a little strange.
Yeah, I don't like that idea of like, oh yeah, my governor is like not even old enough to buy beer.
Exactly. And it's also just like not that big of a deal that she misses the meeting because like they could just postpone it. Like in the original
it's not
movie,
like her sisters were leaving the next day.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't. We saw that they did it. They stuck around. And but in the original movie, she ruined a whole concert. Like it was so much more like humiliating, and like it was like a worse. It was a more irresponsible thing for her to do.
Yeah, and it like creates a bad image of King Triton as a parent, with like all of the audience members being like, "Oh my god, his daughter never showed up."
Yeah, exactly. But here, like there was nobody else even there except for them. Like that was a private meeting. Like no one else knew.
Oh gosh. Then let's move on to
And then they reversed the orders of Part of Your World and Fathoms Below, which I thought
Fathoms Below.
I thought they were just going to cut Fathoms Below entirely, but it's like no, they just reversed the order, and I feel like Fathoms Below works so well as an opening number to this movie because like it establishes like, you know, undersea lore, but from the perspective of a human, from us.
It also establishes the fact that you're watching a musical, like an opening number. This movie did not have a quote unquote opening number. It was
it did not.
The first song in the movie is Part of Your World.
Exactly.
And I was just like, wow, it took a long time to get here. But still very fun. Then let's move on to Kevin, we got to talk about Daveed Diggs as Sebastian.
Okay, I thought that they did the best that they could with Sebastian. I
had fun watching him. He said a couple of fun lines here and there. He looks okay. He looks like a crab.
I mean, yeah, he's a crab. I don't know. I think they did the best they could do. Like, you know, they gave him eyebrows. They gave him, well, not eyebrows. They gave him eyelids. They made him as expressive as they could make him.
Yeah, this wasn't like The Lion King where it's just watching.
This is definitely a step above The Lion King. Although, Flounder. Let's talk about Flounder.
Here's the thing. I had no problem with what Flounder looked like. I had a problem with his voice actor.
Really?
I hated Jacob Tremblay so much.
What? Why do you hate Jacob Tremblay?
I don't know why.
He's Hollywood's nephew, Connor. He's nephew.
I don't know what that means, but I hate him.
Why?
Just told you I don't know why. Specifically during the Kiss the Girl number, you've got this like 3-part harmony with Sebastian kiss the girl, Awkwafina kiss the girl, and then you got Jacob Tremblay kiss the girl. I fucking hate him.
What? That is not what he sounds
Kiss the girl. He says it with a U.
He did not sound like that. If anything, Awkwafina sounded the worst, which she was supposed to because she's skunk.
Can we talk about like on the soundtrack during that number when they're doing like words wins? Then you got Awkwafina right in your ear. Strings.
Yeah.
It's fucking hate it so much.
It was a little weak.
Anyway, about the movie. Melissa McCarthy. We gotta talk about because I think
talk about her makeup, about how bad it is. Like is
meant to be a little.
I don't necessarily think that Ursula should have been played by a drag queen, but I think at the very least they should have hired a drag queen to do her makeup.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like she just, I don't know.
I feel like she wasn't expressive enough in this movie. Like,
if
you're not gonna give her like bold makeup, like make her like she should have been like really expressive. And I just feel like she was kind of held herself back a lot.
Yeah, definitely. But all in all, I thought like her visuals were definitely like impressive, but only like for during the Part of Your World segment, you really only see Ursula's lower half, maybe 5 times throughout the movie. The rest of it is just like, you know, tentacles like kind of like floating around off screen.
I don't know. I thought we saw her tentacles plenty of times in the movie.
Yeah. I will say there was one line in the movie that actually made me laugh out loud. It was right after Triton destroys Ariel's collection and Ursula sends Flotsam and Jetsam to tell her, I can help you.
And let's talk about how this was something I was afraid of in the movie, and I was right to be afraid of. Flotsam and Jetsam don't talk!
No, they do not. They are completely silent.
Why? To what end? Why not? Like, you let all the other animals talk. Why can't they talk.
It's like the birds in Cinderella. The mice talk, but the birds don't. It's like there's no reason for it. It's just because.
Oh, but I love Flotsam and Jetsam so much in the original
They
movie.
are fun characters.
I love how creepy they are. I love how they slither around each other. Like,
yeah.
Oh, and I love their song in the Broadway show.
Oh, yes.
I would love to play either Flotsam or Jetsam in a production.
We could make this happen, Kevin. All we have to do is audition.
Well, I don't know any. I don't. Where's the production of The Little Mermaid? I don't know.
We can make one happen. Impossible things are happening every day.
Okay, whatever.
The one thing that I laughed out loud in the theater was Ariel, like she's talking to Ursula in that little like bubble thing. And she goes, "Oh my gosh, you don't even know who I am, do you?" And Ariel says, "You're the sea witch." And she goes, "The what?"
Oh yeah, okay, that was kind of funny. Which is like, the what? What do they call me? What?
And it reminded me of that like sketch with like Captain Hook. I'm gonna defeat you. Whoa, what did you call me?
Yeah.
I was like, I always picture Ursula as being like, "Yes, I'm Ursula, the Witch of the Sea," and this one she's just like, "Excuse me."
Yeah, which, why do they call her a sea witch? Like, I know why we would call her a sea witch, but why do they, under the sea, call her a sea witch? Shouldn't to them she just be a witch?
I guess, but I don't know. Why do they still call them sea lions? I don't know. Or sea cucumbers.
Well, we never hear them call them sea lions or sea cucumbers.
Oh, Kevin, you're splitting hairs now. You're the CinemaSins.
I'm just saying, it's not like we call our witches land witches.
Maybe we should, Kevin. Okay.
Okay, hold on. Now we skipped ahead. We skipped a bit. I want to talk about Under the Sea.
Not nearly as fun as the original movie.
I thought it was pretty fun, but I have one major problem and two minor problems with it.
Is it about the blanket octopus?
No, I don't really care about the blanket octopus. Like, okay. Yeah, they exaggerated its size. But whatever. It's a movie about mermaids. I don't really care.
Yeah, okay.
I just wanted to know I genuinely did not know what that was when I first saw like it in the trailer. I genuinely did not know, and even though I was a marine biology major.
For 1 year.
For 1 year, yes. But yeah, I thought it was pretty fun. I kind of like how Sebastian was taking Ariel like on a journey. Like I kind of like how they were like kind of bouncing around places. I thought it was a pretty nice little I thought it had some pretty nice visuals. I thought it was very nice. I loved how Ariel is singing along, even though it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But
yeah,
any excuse to get Halle Bailey singing, I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
But the one major problem I had with the song is that they kept the lyrics where Sebastian is listing all of the different sea creatures and the instruments they play.
Yes.
And yet we never see any of them play any musical instruments. We see plenty of them dancing. We see like freaking oysters like growing humanoid limbs and like wiggling around, but like
that turned my stomach.
Which, okay, no, to be fair, I thought that was cute, but like why is that like realistic enough? But seeing a fish play like a trumpet is like that's where you draw the like Rob, why is that where you draw the line?
Rob,
there was no newt playing a flute, there was no carp playing the harp, so therefore
there was no blackfish singing.
They were not sounding sharp. There was no place playing the bass. There was no
Kevin. You're slipping into verse. Please stop.
I wanted to listen to verse. There was the flute was definitely not the Duke of Soul. The Ray, I guess, was
Kevin.
Playing. There was no ling on the strings. There was no.
Kevin,
I guess
please,
the trout
stop.
was rocking out, and there was no blackfish singing.
Stop.
The smelt and the sprat. Where were they at? That blowfish did blow, though.
Kevin, you're beating the joke to death.
Okay, so the two minor things I didn't like about it. Why were there sea turtles walking on the ocean floor? Isn't the whole
there was
point,
no need for that. They swim.
Isn't the whole point of being a sea turtle that you don't have to do that?
Yeah.
It's like if you were gonna do that, it's like, hey, if you're a sea turtle and you're walking on the floor, why don't you just stay on land?
Yeah, really.
And the other thing that I had a problem with is are mermaids like just immune to jellyfish stings? Because Ariel was grabbing that jellyfish from the tentacles.
Yeah.
Either that or Rob Marshall forgot that jellyfish have stingers on their tentacles.
Mermaids are probably immune. I would love to say that.
I guess they rub themselves on sea anemones, I guess, and they're like immune, maybe? I don't know.
Anyway.
yeah, so
I don't want to sit here and just do it like a cut by cut like rehash.
Well,
of the
I
movie.
do want to go through. I do kind of want to go a little more in depth about it. Okay. Let's go to when Ariel gets her legs. We already talked about how they cut out Poor Unfortunate Souls, and I think the reason why they did that, I think they wanted to draw more attention to the fact that Ariel is not doing this for a man, because like a lot of people like to say, oh, you're doing this for a man, and I guess they wanted to emphasize that, like, oh no, she's doing it to become human, to be in the human world. She's doing it to spite her father too, who hates the human world.
Yeah, definitely.
But like, if you actually are smart, you would know that Ursula was just manipulating her in okay, all right. I guess we can't fit. Okay, all right. You know what? I'm just gonna say this. There were a lot. Okay, there were a lot of issues in the movie. So yeah, a lot of minor nitpicks. Okay.
There was one scene where they had the original voice actress for Jodie. For
Yes,
Ariel.
Jodie Benson's cameo. I love Jodie Benson's cameo. I was like, yes, Jodie, yes. Jodie Benson should be Disney Stan Lee. I know that Marvel is Disney, but you know what I mean. She should be cameoing.
She passed on the Dinglehopper to Halle Bailey in such a cute little scene.
But she should be cameoing in every single live action Disney movie.
I love like when Disney movies do cameos of original, like Ming-Na Wen in Mulan and Jodie Benson. Like I thought they were so cute, and they did it very well in this one. They didn't really.
I loved it. It was great. I was just like, yes.
She was very cute. The movie was. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would recommend you get yourself a ticket and enjoy it yourself. Do not expect to get a popcorn bucket from the AMC theaters because people already bought them all out and they will be on reseller websites for $65 a piece.
And I am one of those people who bought them, but I'm not going to resell it. Don't worry. I'm not a scalper. I'm keeping it for myself. I
thought I'd be able to get it like the day after the movie released. No, it's already gone.
I got it on Thursday, bitch. I was prepared.
Whatever.
I learned my lesson from Thor: Love and Thunder. I learned my lesson.
Anyway. All in all, the movie was good. I had a good time. I think you will too.
I liked it. It's one of the better of the live action remakes. I don't know. I don't recommend it more than the original, but Halle Bailey is amazing.
Melissa McCarthy as Giant Ursula, I thought was genuinely terrifying, though.
Where was her face? Here's
the thing. I got like a good seat in the theater where I could see most of her face, and she had these like horrendous gills on the side of her cheeks. And,
I saw the gills. I could make out gills, but why was she just completely in darkness? Why could you not see her face at all?
I don't know. I think it was probably CGI limitation.
Yeah, which is lame. Boo.
Anyway.
But I will give a shout out though. One more thing. I will give a shout out to Jessica Alexander as Vanessa. I thought she actually did a really good job as Vanessa.
She ate and left no crumbs.
She did. For the little screen time she had, like that face that she made when Ariel turned back into a mermaid, I was yes, that is what I was looking for. Hot take, she made it for a better Ursula than Melissa McCarthy did.
I would actually agree with you on that one.
Yeah, like that face that she made was so diabolical. I was like, yes, that is that Disney villain expression that I needed.
Yes.
She might just be the best on-screen live-action remake Disney villain. I might even say that. I might even go that far.
Okay, well, before you go that far, I want to say thank you for joining us this beautiful Monday at 7 p.m. on Fruity Cereal.
On Fruity Cereal.
We had such a fun time talking with everybody.
With Jenna.
No, I meant like the audience. Like, I don't know why I said talking with them, but like, thanks for listening is what I'm trying to say.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for watching. If you're following us on YouTube at youtube.com/ETB Network.
And make sure to drop a like if you are.
Yes, like, comment, subscribe, all that good jazz. If you'd like to follow us on our podcast forums, you can do that at iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Acast. Wherever you get your podcasts.
At Fruity Cereal, fruity like the food, cereal like the number.
Correct. As usual, you can follow me on social media at ConnorKFitz92.
And you can follow me anywhere at It's Kevin O'Lear. That's ITSKEVINOLEAR.
Oh, and before we go, I gotta wish you a happy. Oh God. Okay. Well, it kind of fits in with Jenna's curriculum. Learn about composting day.
Yay!
Yeah. Memorial Day be damned. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next week, same time, same place, Monday at 7 p.m. here on the Empty the Bench Podcast Network.
Stay fruity, everyone.
Bye.